Slimehouse TV, myself Theo Kane, hope everybody is good, hold tight everybody that's locked in, the Slime Renegades, the Slime Alliance, Team Z and everyone else that's supporting. So we're back toy hunting at Doncaster Racecourse today, looking for that good stuff and catching up with some regulars, and also getting into a little tiny bit of drama, something that I want to talk about at the end of the episode, because I'm really interested to know your thoughts on the situation. So without further ado, sit back, get comfy, and I'll tell you all about how we got on. You know how we do, Doncaster Racecourse, this is our stomping ground, we never miss this one. Looking forward to seeing what's inside, it's always a good fair. Let's do this! So as always, we got there nice and early, paid that 8 AM early bird entry and started hitting up those first few stalls that you first see when you enter the venue. And pretty much right away, just a few minutes into the hunt, we was greeted by the nicest man in toys, I've heard him called many times and I can fully see why. Dave Blade was there, standing at Doncaster for the first time ever with a stall of real nice pieces, including a Pirates of Darkwater ship. Now, if you watch my 2022 pickups video, you'll know how much I love Pirates of Darkwater, and I spent a fair bit of time last year gathering up a full set of them. Now, the ship that I've got for my Pirates of Darkwater set is complete, but there's a couple of bits on it that are sun-bleached, stuff that I would like to replace before I do the big video on it ideally. Not imperative, but it would be nice, so when I saw this one on his stall, it really did grab my attention.
What bit does it need?
I think it's missing one of them and then one of them.
There's like a red thing that fits in front. There's just not enough on it for what I need.
Yeah.
I need one of these in better condition, which this one isn't really any better than mine.
Yeah.
And I need there's a red thing that fits in front like a paraglider bit.
Oh,
that
right,
it's
okay.
not got, that mine's, I've got but sun bleached, so I would have just quite liked to, but if it had them bits, I'd have had it, because it's a mint deal, that mate,
Yeah, no,
and it took me ages to get one, putting all bits together, because it's just not a piece that you see around very often.
Mate, nah. I've tried looking every now and again for the bits on that, but it's...
I had to buy 3 separate ones and put it together over time, to get all bit. So I have got one complete, I'm just trying to get one slightly better for the sake of a video.
Unfortunately, the one that he had didn't have any of the pieces on it that I needed to replace on mine, so I did leave it, but it was nice to see Motu Wayne walking around with it later, so either way, it did go home to somebody that really will appreciate it.
Can I come round there and get shots, just so?
Of course you can, mate,
I don't want to be in people's way then, and then I can get back.
I'll go round the front, mate.
Switch places, just so I can get.
Oh, mate, you got some great stuff.
Something else that Dave had on his stall as well that really caught my eye was a full set of Galoob Defenders of the Earth figures, all complete, all carded, all looking beautiful. Now, this is another line in a franchise that I really like. Back in the 80s, they brought together a bunch of characters that were from old comic strips by a company called King Features Syndicate. Avengers style, so you had Flash Gordon and the Phantom all crossing over for a dope toy line, and also a wicked cartoon that featured one of the most fire animated intro songs ever.
Out of the sky, his rockets ignite. Jets into battle, flying faster than light. Defenders of the Earth.
Now, I've been trying to put a set of these together for years, put together a loose collection with all the bits and all their pieces, and it's quite hard because you don't see them around that often complete. So seeing them all here on the card looking so perfect really did inspire me to try and complete my set. I always really love the look of the Garak soldier as well. This diamond robot soldier with a Mazinger grill mouth. So dope, such a nice toy line. And for £100 a pop for 1980s rare figures like that, all carded in that condition, you really can't go wrong. Something else that was also nice to see again on someone else's stall this time was a full set of Kenner the Shadow figures.
These are nice, 20 quid a pop. That's cheap, man. I filmed a set of these at NEC, and people went mad for them. 20 quid a pop.
Now, I filmed a full set of these before at the NEC on someone else's stall, and that gathered a lot of attention. So when I saw a full set of these for £20 a pop, I'm thinking, these are not going to be around at the end of the day. These are not going to be around for long. I've said this before, but if you can find a figure that's 25, 30 years old and it's complete and it's £20, never mind carded, then it's a no-brainer pickup in my opinion. If you want them, like, it's a no-brainer pickup. Now these were off the stall of the guy that sold me the Jushin Liger Dragon King and the TH3 set before, a few Doncaster events back, so I always like to go and check out his stall now nice and early to see what he's got, and this is why. Right next to them as well, again for £20 each, he had a full set of the Bendy figures from Tarzan The Epic Adventures, all carded, all looking mint. Now this might be a toy line that doesn't have a big fan base, there's not many people that praise it or anything like that, but not for nothing, it's got some real nice designs in it, some real nice colour schemes and some certified characters in my opinion. Now these all came out in the mid-90s and they were created to tie into a live action TV show that was playing at the time. Now admittedly it was very corny, but I think considering the budget that they had, they really did make it stretch a long way. It had lots of interesting creature designs and set pieces and things, and I think that these figures are just a real good reflection of that. And I think with how cheap they are and with how often you see them around, they might even become a collecting focus of mine in the near future, because I can't lie, I really do like these things. Now if you remember, on the last Doncaster Toy Fair hunt, I picked up a boglin from my friend Neil at Retrograde. Neil is someone that I've known for absolutely years, he knows what I'm into and he always sorts me out good deals on good stuff whenever I see him. Neil is also someone that's been doing this for a couple of decades now. He's been doing this since back when I used to come to Doncaster Toy Fair when I was a kid with my dad. So he's been doing this a long time, and because of that he's got lots of mad backstock. You never know what he's going to pull out on his table, so I always make a point of going to his table nice and early whenever I get to Doncaster.
Look at these. Super Rangers. Look at that double striped blade, that's what they make in prison, so when they slash you can't stitch it up.
Everton fans stand putting a matchstick between two Stanley blades.
From Everton fans. Here he is, look, my Green Ranger.
What was also cool about this time as well is that he'd already hit me up about something that he thought I might be interested in, and I said yes, I want it, so he was going to bring it with me to Doncaster so I could grab it off him when I saw him there.
You what, pal? Pull it out, yeah. Sweet. This is what I need. I only need one more now and I got the whole collection. Not an easy set to put together, man.
Now this thing is the Laser Lung from a very obscure toy line by Toymax called Body Wars. I've talked a little bit about Body Wars on the channel before. My mum used to get me these from the discount store when I was a kid and I've always thought they were incredible. I don't know who came up with the idea to have little grotesque, gross out body part playsets with little heroes inside them that would defend them from bacteria and diseases and that kind of thing, but I think it's absolutely genius. I dig them, they're a little bit of me, and for the past like 10 years I've been trying to put a full set together of them. Thanks to Neil, I now only need one more to complete my entire set, so if you've got a Dego Destroyer hanging about, then please holler me, because that's the last one I need to complete the collection.
Stuff like as weird as that.
Really? I like that weird shit.
Yeah, if it's weird, I like it.
Yeah, yeah. Me and you'll get on, pal.
Well,
Patent Westlake and Blondie.
It's not a sealed box, so yeah.
Sweet. Let's do a little unboxing. Mint that, mate. Well, I won't bother messing about with it. I can see all I need to see.
It was also good to see Mick Whitmore again. You might have seen me meet Mick for the first time in the Stafford video recently. He's the guy that had the cool Micronauts piece, and he grabbed me when he saw me walking around and shouted me over to his stall because he said he'd brought something that he wanted to show me. So obviously I was intrigued.
That one you'll be quite familiar with.
Yeah, from Universal Studios. I don't think I have it though, but it's I even as a kid used to laugh at it, but like looking back, it's mint.
Still get hold of it, gee.
Look at that.
But you don't get there. And that was a kid's toy shop.
I know exactly what it is as well.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, no, I know exactly what knife it is from the film. Yeah.
That was from the toy shop.
A licensed reproduction of the knife from the movie.
So many of you will recognise this as the knife that Schwarzenegger pins a biker to a pool table waving the bar at the start of Terminator 2. And this is an official replica of it that was released in the 90s that Mike had picked up himself when he was in his 20s in America. So as I said, Mick managed to smuggle this back from Florida in the 90s when he was in his 20s. Something that would probably be a lot harder to do nowadays, so I really appreciate seeing it up close and in person. And just very thoughtful for him to think, do you know what, I'm going to bring this to the toy fair because I know that Theo will appreciate seeing it. Like, big ups, brother, I really do appreciate it. Respect.
Jeez.
That's my pride and joy. That's when you could have proper collectibles.
Yeah.
Take that one out.
Look, Dodgy pulling this out.
Do you know what I mean? They're selling them kids.
Hang on. One at a time, I'll get overwhelmed and stab myself. let me put this away.
I had to put them out of the way because I didn't want nobody thingy on them. We've
got thing as well. Look at that. It's an official thing as well.
It was my 25th birthday in Florida.
You bought this in America?
Yeah.
How'd you get that home in your suitcase? Like, I mean, back then I suppose it was easy, weren't it? Yeah.
I clenched my bum cheeks and walked
them ones, yeah.
nothing to declare.
Yeah.
Mattel,
beautiful. So nice though. And do you know, this is an era when a lot of them, they were doing them like Barbie hair, but they're so much better with the sculpted hair. Yeah, and the Denny's Doctor Who. Her hair's all mash up and it's so much better sculpted like this.
But yeah, I mean, really these won't go in somewhere in a proper display.
They want to go in like a
it took a while to get
protector
them
box.
Ones. Yeah, they want casing.
It's also always nice to see Andrew and his partner from the Dino Den always coming through with that dinosaur goodness and them certified Jurassic Park toys and merchandise. Also shouts to him for my new hat, my new Jurassic Park hat. Buzzing with that, my guy.
The crossover we didn't know we needed.
Yeah.
Who killed Yamcha? It was Vegeta in the cave with the spirit bomb.
Nice clean action, man. Hard to be played with.
There's a box of bits on floor down here. I was just looking at. You see, what on there, like that one on floor? Yeah, I thought.
And a full cold it. Escape from cold it.
Sweet.
Complete.
In this. Oh, little spider.
Oh, mate, it's the Paw Patrol there. Discovered the best thing ever.
We just free this little spider. You're gonna get killed on there. You what, dude?
Kirsty.
A pauldron for my samurai for fighting furies. That's fun's Butch. Come here, let's have a look what you bought.
Yeah.
Get that. This is where you know you're getting into dangerous territory now with your Transformers.
Yeah.
It's beautiful though, do you know, trying to get it, even just with its head, like it's just always missing.
It's missing the helmet usually, isn't it?
Tonight's forecast, a freeze is coming.
So it was right about now that I made my third purchase of the day. And I actually saw these at Stafford and wanted to feature them more in the video, but I was just running out of time so I didn't get a chance. But this seller had brought with him a big selection of old Dapple Doctor Who figures, all carded. And recently you might have even seen the video I got sent a carded Dapple Doctor Who Ice Warrior from my friend Ryan the Collector Kid. And if you watch this channel, you know that I'm just an old fan of Doctor Who. I've even featured all of the Denny's Doctor Who figures on this channel before. So we'd got all of these in a job lot, a bunch of the 80s ones and the later ones too, all directly from the Dapple factory I'm told. And because he just wanted to kind of get shut of them, other than the odd one that were priced higher, they were all pretty much between £10 and £20. Now, I didn't need to be bringing home a full set of these Doctor Who figures, as tempting as it was, but I have always liked the look of the T-Trap, so I did pick one of them up. And because he's a cool guy, he also gave me a loose T-Trap that he had as well, because he knows that I like to film videos. So yeah, very cool of him. Shouts to him for that. The T-Trap as well, or the Tetrap, or whatever you want to call it, has always been a really cool design in my opinion. I like how it's a mix between like a grizzly bear and a bat with 3 eyes, and it's actually one of the first monsters that ever went up against Doctor Who when he became Sylvester McCoy for that run in that very first episode. It's definitely one of the more obscure creatures that you don't hear talked about in Doctor Who lore that much, and I don't know why, because I think the design of them is awesome. So yeah, really happy that those two came home with me. What's also mad as well is just after I bought them and I left that stall, somebody came over and bought every single one of them, all of them in a job lot. Like I said, these were really cheap, so I'm kind of gutted that I didn't get a few more of him, because I went back and kind of thought maybe I should get some more. But yeah, somebody obviously saw that that was a sweet deal and jumped on it. So yeah, shouts to that guy, because he definitely recognised a good deal when he saw it. So at the start of this video, I talked about a little bit of drama that ensued at this event. And drama might be a little bit of an over-exaggerated word for the one incident that I'm going to talk about in today's episode, but there was more than one, and I don't know why, but for some reason at this weekend's event, there was more than one person that came at me with a real weird, poor, disrespectful attitude. So like I said, there were 2 particular incidents that went down at this event. The second of which I'm not even going to talk about in this video. I might mention it in a future video or something like that, but everything that I needed to say to that guy, I said there and then. And that was after me being polite to him for a few minutes of trying to like calm the situation and him just carrying on, and then me having to match his aggression and telling him about himself. And I guarantee you will never talk to anyone like that again at a toy fair in that way, because the way that he was coming at me was very, very out of order. And like I said, there was a couple of minutes of me trying to be cool with him until I was just like, have we got a problem here? Are we taking it to that level where we're going to argue at a toy fair? And I told him about himself, and if he's watching, he knows that I told him about himself, and he will never talk to anybody like that at a toy fair ever again, I would like to think, because yeah, he was very, very out of order. But that's not even the situation that I'm going to talk about in today's episode. I'm going to talk about this first guy, and I'm only going to talk about it in depth because I feel like it's relevant to this episode. So the one that I am going to talk about today is one that I got all on camera, so I'm going to show you. And it is very minor, but it did make me think, because I did get a comment that was very similar to this on the last Stafford Toy Fair video. So it's something that I want to address, and it's something that I'd also love to hear your opinion on as well. So I was just walking around a toy fair, just vibes in, having a good time, checking out the stalls like you do, when I saw something that caught my eye, an old 90s Super Soaker, and I really liked the look of it. Now, I've always wanted one of these. As a kid, I was always that guy on the estate with the fairy liquid bottle full of water, while all the rich kids had the Super Soaker. So as an adult, I've always wanted one. I want to get one and I want to put it on my wall, and I've been looking out for years to find one at a nice price in nice condition, and this one just fit the bill perfectly. I thought, yeah man, that's really cool, I want to take a look at it.
Am I right to have a look at that Super Soaker when you got a minute?
No.
I can't look.
Well, you don't want to buy it, do you?
Of course I do.
You just want to take photos.
Now, as you can see, I cut the guy's face out. I chose not to add him in the video. I'm not trying to put him on blast or anything like that. I'm not a knobhead. I'm not that guy. But as you can hear, I'm very polite. I just said, am I alright to look at that Super Soaker when you've got a minute? And he turned to me and very bluntly just said no, and then carried on dealing with his customer. So I said, no, am I not allowed to look at it? And then he looked at me again with a proper horrible, cocky, like Mardy scowl and just said, well, you don't want to buy it, do you? You only want to take a photo.
Am I right to have a look at that Super Soaker when you got a minute?
No.
I can't look.
Well, you don't want to buy it, do you?
Of course I do.
You just want to take photos.
No, but I've been after one for years, but no, I won't buy it now.
How you doing, buddy? All right.
All right, brother.
It's your channel.
Yeah, I was
mate.
going to buy that, but this guy's been weird, so I'm not going to buy it now.
I love it, mate.
Now, it is over very quickly, but there's a lot to unpack here, I feel. And first of all, he's well in his rights to not have to let me look at anything on his stall. If he doesn't want me picking anything up from his stall or me looking at it or anything like that for whatever reason, then that's completely up to him. It's weird in my opinion because he's at a toy fair trying to sell stuff, but if he just doesn't like the look of me, doesn't like me personally for whatever reason, then he's well in his rights to not want me anywhere near his stall. That's completely fine. But the way he said it was very blunt, very presumptuous, and it was almost like he had it ready to say when he saw someone come near his stall with a camera, almost like he was waiting for somebody like me to come along and ask to look at something on his stall just so he could look at him and tell him no. Now, unfortunately for both of us, like, I did genuinely want to look at this thing to have a look at buying it, but because he just assumed that I only wanted to take a photo, we wasn't able to make that deal and make that trade. Now, it's also important to mention that I don't know this guy. I've never spoken to him before. We don't have any previous rapport. It's not like I've been to his stall before and we've had a bit of a to-do and he just doesn't like me. Like, he doesn't know me. He was an older gentleman as well, so I don't think he watches my channel because my channel generally doesn't appeal to, like, people of that older generation. It might do, I don't know, but when I look at my analytics and things like that, it's very rare that anybody of that age group who collects, like, more traditional toys and, like, the other stuff he had on there were, like, dolls and teddy bears and things. They're really not the kind of people that watch my channel. But he might do, I don't know. Maybe he knows me. Maybe he was looking out for me and he thought when he comes over to my stall I'm going to tell him about himself. I don't know. But like I said, the way he said it to me was very automated. It's almost like he had it ready to unload on someone with a camera. And the way that he said it to me, like, you could tell he was really pleased with himself. He said it really cocky. He was very happy with himself that he said it to me this way. So first of all, I'm just thinking, like, you don't know what I'm going to buy. You don't know what I will and won't buy, what I'm looking for. I've been coming to the toy fairs years and buying tons of stuff. Like, how do you know what I'm not going to buy or what I'm going to take a photo of? You don't know anything. I'd also understand if it was like a really rare Johnny 7 gun on his table with lots of little intricate bits and he didn't want me picking it up and pissing about with it and potentially breaking it or something. But it was like a hollow plastic 90s Super Soaker. These things get thrown around by kids in a garden. There was no way I was going to break it. Like, it was just overall very presumptuous of him to just be like, no, you're not going to buy it. So, like, instantly it wound me up. And like I said, he is well in his rights to not want me anywhere near his stall for his own reasons. He doesn't have to let me look at anything. But like I said, you are at a toy fair, you are there to sell stuff, and if he thought I was going to take a picture and was going to piss him about, then he could have just said politely, you can have a look at it, but only if you're going to consider buying it because I don't want to mess around. Like, that would have been fine, but the way he said it so bluntly, so ill-mannered, and so, like, impolitely, like, that's what got to me. Now, in situations like this, I do always try and step back and think objectively, like, what was his thoughts in that situation. And I've often thought there might be a bit of disconnect with some of those, like, more old boy generation toy fair dealers, seeing all the generation of YouTube people coming through, and there might be some disconnect and they don't want to embrace it and they don't like it. That might be a thing, I don't know. But if that is the case, I think it's a real shame that some of them, not all of them, because most people are fine, but there might be some of those, like, more older traditional sellers at the toy fair that don't welcome these new people coming through with cameras and stuff like that. Even though I've been coming to the toy fairs for years, I've only been filming them in, like, the past year or so. So the fact that they don't see the good that can come from that, and that by more people seeing the toy fair, it brings more custom and they will potentially sell more stuff to more people. Yeah, I don't know. Now, the reason that I even bothered to mention this whole thing is that it reminded me of a comment that I got on the recent Stafford video. Now, I just want to say that in general, I never really get many bad comments on my videos. You'll get the odd person that has a different opinion to me, and that's fine. Somebody that has, like, conflicting information to something I've said. It's very rare that I just get, like, a knobhead comment or someone just trying to throw shade for the sake of it. Like, it is very rare. The majority of the comments that I get are from really nice people that support what I do and just love seeing the videos that I create. But the other week, I did get a comment from someone that was, like, kind of, not a bad comment, but definitely trying to throw shade in a little way. And it said, literally, never purchases anything unless it's real cheap. Just photos for his content. So first of all, I don't purchase anything. Me. Have you seen the room that I'm sat in? I've spent my entire life purchasing toys. I've spent my entire life on this planet from before I could even properly talk with my dad at toy fairs and car boots and market stalls. And then when I grew up becoming a toy collector, one of the biggest toy collectors in England, one of the most well-known toy collectors in England, also a toy designer. Like, I live and breathe toys, buying toys, making toys, being around toys. So straight away, that's a comment that's just stupid. Doesn't buy anything unless it's real cheap. Again, not true. I spend my money on what I think something's worth to me, and sometimes I'm on a smaller budget, sometimes I've got a bit more cash to spend. Sometimes I'm funding a secret Slimehouse project and I ain't got a lot of money to spend. Sometimes I've saved up a lot of money because I'm specifically looking for something that I want to make a video on. But to say that I don't buy anything unless it's real cheap is weird, and also, why are you watching my wallet like that? Why are you watching what I spend? I go to the toy fair and I film what I want to film and I buy what I want to buy. I've got a lot of stuff. I don't just buy everything willy-nilly. Like I said, I've been doing this for many years, so of course I don't buy things for the sake of it. That again would be very stupid. And also, by taking photos, I presume that this guy means like taking videos. And of course, when I go to a toy fair, I want to film everything. I want to capture the entire vibe of the toy fair. I want to film as much as possible for people that can't be there, that want to see what's there, for people that was there that want to see what they missed. I want to capture the entire toy fair as a vibe as much as possible. Of course I do. So this guy's saying that I should only go to a toy fair and film the few things that I buy. Like, let's say I buy 3 things at a toy fair. Welcome to Slimehouse TV. Today's episode is only 3 minutes long because I'm only going to cover the 3 things that I specifically bought for myself personally. And sometimes I will pick something up and I want to have a good look at it and see if anything's broken, see if it's missing anything, see if when it's in my hand it speaks to me enough for me to want to bring it home and put it in my collection. Like I said, I've got a lot of stuff. How do I know if I don't pick it up and have a good look at it? And sometimes it might even be something that I personally have or something that I don't want, but I think that the viewers of Slimehouse will like to see it, so I'll pick it up and talk about it and show it on camera. Sometimes I might pick something up and I really want it, but I'm umming and ahhing about it because I haven't really got the space, or it's something like that Suburban Commando kit that I've got to put together and paint, and I could really do without another project right now. But that Suburban Commando kit is a prime example because I picked that up in the video and I showed it, and then within a half an hour of my video dropping, that thing sold on eBay. Not a similar one, that exact specific one from that same seller sold within half an hour of my video dropping, it sold. So if I pick something up on your Toy Fair stall, just because I don't specifically buy it, it doesn't mean that the 10,000 followers that I've almost got now aren't going to see that and potentially go on your eBay store and buy it, or come to the next Doncaster Toy Fair and buy it as well. Also, the amount of people that I see at these toy fairs that come up to me and say, do you know what, I've never been to a toy fair before, but I've come here today because I saw that you went to this event and it inspired me to come as well. And that Suburban Commando mutant and people coming up and telling me that are just like one of 100 examples of people that come to the toy fairs and buy stuff and spend money because of the stuff that they see in my videos and the toy fairs that they see me go to. I also noticed that my mic cut out then, but I'm not going to go back and re-record all that because I like this thing to be natural and I like my rant and me talking to the camera to be natural. So I'm not going to go back and re-record all that stuff that I just did just because the sound quality might not be as good. And I also understand that from your point of view as a seller, I've stood at toy fairs myself and I don't mind it personally, but some people might not like it. It might be annoying when someone comes around with the camera, but I never try and be invasive with it. I never try and stand in the way. I never try and get in the way of someone's deal or anything like that. And when there's 500 stalls at a toy fair, you can't realistically ask every single person, can I film your stall? But like I said, I always try and be polite with it and I never try and be intrusive. And flip side to that, if you do ever see someone at a toy fair that's filming, just know that they're probably not doing it because they want to try and like leech off the stock that you've got on your stall. They're just doing it because they love filming toys and they love making videos about it. And if anybody didn't ever want me filming their stall, like, they're completely welcome to just say, excuse me pal, will you not film my stall because I don't like cameras around my stuff. Just say it politely. Just be polite to me like I'm polite to you and we can both go on and have a nice day. Also, as you can see at the end of the clip where the guy was rude to me, it was perfectly timed by someone that was buying something from him, turning to me and telling me how much that he loved my videos, which not only put a smile back on my face, but it's always nice to hear people appreciate what I do. But not only hearing that, but also right in front of the guy that had just had a go at me for being such a nuisance, like it was perfectly timed. And I also went up and spoke to that guy after again and just said sorry if I came across as weird. Like, I just got into a little bit of a to-do with this guy, but really do appreciate you showing me love on my videos. I'm sorry if I came across any other way than polite and respectful back to you. And I also want to make it clear that for everybody that might be like abrasive or ill-mannered at a toy fair to me, which is very rare, there's thousands of people that support what I do and are always really nice to me and come up to me and tell me how much they love what I do and how much they love the videos. So to all those people, massive respect, you always make my day. And to the people that don't like me and do want to say, no, get away from my stall in as many words, then I hope you have a nice day as well, because I'm a very positive, polite guy and Slimehouse is all about positive vibes and I wish you nothing but an awesome day. But I'd love to know what your thoughts are on the situation. Do you think I was in the wrong? Do you think he was in the wrong? Do you think I blew this whole thing out of proportion and I thought into it too deep? Or do you think that I was like well in my rights to like want to speak about it? Let me know in the comments below. I'm always open to having a discussion with people with a conflicting opinion to mine, and I think that this is something that he was like well in his rights to say no, but just the way that he said it I think was very rude and very abrupt and very uncalled for. But let me know, what do you think about this situation? Also, let me know if you've ever had some kind of situation similar to this at a toy fair where you've dealt with someone that really was out of order for no reason. Like I said, there was another person on that day that was so out of order to me that I didn't even get on camera, and I'm not even going to talk about it in this episode like I said, but yeah, he was like so out of order, like I couldn't believe the way he came at me. I also hope that this little bit of drama didn't deter too much from the cool toy hunting that we did on this episode and the cool stuff that we found. So as always, if you saw something that I didn't pick up that you would have not been able to leave without coming home with, then let me know about it in the comments down below. If this is your first time here on Slimehouse, I'm Theo Kane, this is Slimehouse TV. I do toy themed retro videos every single week, so if you like this, no doubt you'll like all the other stuff that I've got on this channel as well, so make sure you go back and binge that back catalogue. If you want to hit me up about anything but you don't want to comment down below publicly, the best place to do that is over on Instagram at Theo_Kane_Slimehouse. I've also got our Patreon at patreon.com/SlimehouseTV. You can head over there, join one of the tiers and help me make Slimehouse bigger and better than ever. And if you don't want to commit to Patreon but you want to send a one-off donation, there's also a link down in the description below that gives you the option to do that. So with all that being said, I really do hope that you enjoyed this video today. Like I said, I hope the drama didn't deter too much from the toy hunting stuff, because that's what we're all about here. Toy hunting, toys, and good vibes. So until next time, I'm Theo Kane, this is Slimehouse TV, and I'm gone. Pow!